In this video, I will be showing you German short rows. German short rows are another method of making short rows, another technique. They look best in stockinette stitch, but you can use them in other stitch patterns as well. Here it is in garter, and it doesn't look too bad. So how to make the German short rows? You will work up to your short row location. If you're substituting these for wrap and turn short rows or some other short row method, then you will work up to your short row location plus one more stitch. The stitch we're going to be manipulating will be the stitch that would have gotten wrapped if we were doing wrap and turn short rows. And I'll say that that is where my short row will begin. I don't do anything yet except turn the work. The yarn is in the front because I was just knitting, so the yarn should be in the front, and we're going to make what's called a double stitch. I'm going to slip this stitch without working it, and I'm going to pull the yarn up. We're essentially making a slip stitch with a very tiny paired yarn over. Because I'm pulling the yarn up, it produces what looks like a double stitch. So this is called a double stitch. There is a knot on the top of my needle. I'm going to bring the yarn to the back, and then because I'm purling, I'm bringing it forward between the needles, and this is what you end up with on your needle. It looks like a double stitch, and there's this knot at the top. It's actually a slipped stitch and a very small yarn over. And then I just purl. Then to make a double stitch on the other side, again, you work to where you want your short row. If you're substituting this for wrap and turns, you will work your directions plus one more stitch. So we'll say I want to stop there. I don't do anything on this side. I turn the work. I need the yarn in the front. We were just purling. The yarn is behind the needles, so I need to bring the yarn forward between the needles first, and then everything else is the same. Slip the stitch without working it, and then pull the yarn up. It looks slightly different on this side, but still there's a double stitch looking thing and a little knot. I find on these I need to pull a little bit snugger, and then the yarn is already in the back, so I leave the yarn in the back to knit the next stitch, and I kind of tug to tighten that up like so. I will show those one more time. I'm on the right side. I will turn my work. The yarn is already in front. I will slip that stitch, pull up, bring the yarn to the back, and then forward between the needles in order to purl. And then again, a wrong side stitch. I will simply turn the work, I need the yarn in the front, so I move the yarn to the front and then slip that first stitch without working it, pull the yarn up tightly, hold it to the back to knit the following stitch, and I snug that yarn and then knit as normal. The beauty of these is the ease of resolving these. You work up to, so here is the first double stitch, and you can kind of see that it is a stitch right here with a small yarn over, really tight yarn over. So I don't want to work the yarn over with this stitch. This is the stitch that it's paired with. So I'm going to knit this stitch, and there is my double stitch. You just knit those together like they are one stitch. And then we'll work up to the next one. So there's the next one. I'm going to knit that stitch, and then I will knit that, all of that together as one. So it's right there. I have 2 more stitches to go right there. All right, now we simply purl all of this together. And so the next one is not this one, so I will purl this one. It is this one, and it looks like that. I will just purl all of that together. And that is it for German short rows. So here is what they look like in stockinette stitch fabric. Not bad. They're a little bit noticeable. The wrong side ones right here are a little bit more noticeable in garter. The right side ones aren't bad, but the wrong side ones have a little bit more of a bump. So they're not the best choice for garter, but they work really well in stockinette. So that is German short rows. Thanks for watching.